All right, ladies and gentlemen, and everybody else that's watching out there, this is Rafi Chaudhary with RafiChaudhary.com, and today I'm going to be talking to you guys about how to get the girl that you want without coming off as creepy. All right, rule number one, don't be creepy, okay? If you think you're coming off as creepy, you probably are. So take a step back, stop and evaluate what you're doing. Think about it from her point of view and see, if I were a girl and somebody was doing this to me, and my general conception of guys is that they're creepy, would I find this creepy? Because the reality is most girls, think about it, they get hit on by lots of different guys, and majority of them are creepy. That's just what they're used to, right? So even if you're not creepy, even if you have good intentions, you want something more than what the regular guys are hitting her up about, she's going to automatically assume that you're creepy. She's going to automatically assume that's what you're wanting as well. So you have to set yourself apart somehow. So if you get any hint at all that she's feeling like you're coming off as being weird or creepy, just stop and realize that you probably are. So what you can do instead is come and just be genuine and be generic, okay? Don't try the things that most guys are doing. Don't hit her up on Facebook and send her like a poker. Instead, try to, if you are going to add her on Facebook, add her and send them a detailed message. Hey, my name is such and such. I connected with you this and this way, or I want to connect with you because of these reasons, and then say hi to her like that. Or you can just start with hi, and then after she responds, then you can say something like, give her a reason for why you're connecting with her. That automatically, kind of eases the tension a little bit. She's not wondering anymore like, okay, who is this, and why is this person trying to connect with me? All right, tip number 2 for how not to come off as creepy is that don't do the whole asking for a number and then sending her like, hey, hi, wink face, like these type of things. Like, if she's not responding to you, just wait. And if she still doesn't respond to you after a couple of days, the chances are she's probably not interested in you. So what I would do is, if you text her something and she doesn't respond, just give her a call the next day. And if she doesn't respond to your call, just leave her a voicemail. And if she doesn't answer back anymore, just leave it. The girl is clearly not interested in you, right? Don't do this whole like texting after a couple of days saying, hey, you gonna text me back? Hey, what's up? Hey girl, what you do? Don't do that kind of thing, okay? If somebody's not responding to you, if somebody's ignoring you, it's probably a reason. It's probably not because that they didn't pay their internet bill and their phone bill and their texts are not getting delivered. They are probably getting delivered. It's just they're choosing to probably ignore you because they're not interested in you. So when you find that someone is not interested in you, just leave it. Go after the 3.5 other billion girls that are out there that may be interested in you, depending on how good you are. All right, another tip that I can give you guys about not being creepy is that if you notice that a girl is by herself, try not to approach, like especially at a bar or a club or somewhere like that, try not to approach her with a bunch of your guy friends. It's really awkward for a girl to be approached by a whole bunch of guys at once, okay? Just try to find a way to make her not feel overwhelmed by your approach. So just approach her by yourself. Okay, if you see that it's a group of girls, try to single her out a little bit, not in a creepy way again, but just casually try to see if you can get her to just kind of step aside to the side, because chances are a girl is not going to want to make too much conversation and chit chat with you in front of a lot of her girlfriends, because she's going to think that it just comes off really weird to the other girls. Like, oh wait, this girl, doesn't care about us. He's just living with some guy. So try to see if you can find her maybe like a little, not by herself completely, but maybe like off to the side, away from some of her friends, maybe getting a drink or something like that. That might be a good time to approach her, than just to go up to a group of girls that are just clearly within their own group and single one out and start talking to her. It's just not a good approach in general. Some other ways you can be creepy is just make sure your body language is good. Don't touch anybody unless you know them well and you know they're comfortable with it. And I would not recommend touching anybody at all unless you've had at least like several dates with this person. Because yes, they may be okay with it, but the thing is that the majority of people aren't okay with random people, especially guys. Like, girls don't like guys just randomly touching them. So be really, really careful with touches and body language as well. Make sure you're not too into their face and they can't. Make sure your breath smells good. Like, if you're at a club or bar where it's loud, don't be so loud into their ear that you blow their eardrums out or you spit in their ear. Don't do those little things. Make sure that you smell good, because smell is hugely important. Make sure you're well groomed. Okay? When you approach anybody, especially a girl, you want to make sure that you're presenting the best version of yourself and you're not coming off as creepy. And another piece of advice I could tell you is that if your facial hair is not well groomed, just don't keep it. It's really weird to have this outgrown facial hair, or to have that weird mustaches and things like that. Just, if you can't keep facial hair groomed, just don't keep any at all. You see, I don't really have any because I don't have time to clean and keep it well groomed. So just make sure that you're dressed well, you're coming off as a person that anybody would approach. You're coming off professional, and that way you just automatically put yourself in a situation better than a lot of other guys that are approaching that same girl. Another thing that I would say is that just make sure that you're talking to girls that already have some idea about your social status. The thing is that when you have other friends that she knows, or you're with other girls, it makes the girl feel a little bit more important in approaching you, or in you approaching her. So it makes her a little bit more likely to open up to you faster and not find you as a creepy random stranger that's just hitting her up. So try to build up some sort of rapport between her friends or your friends or something like that, to give her some idea of who you are. And so when you do approach her, it's not completely cold turkey, but she already has some genuine idea about who you might be. So that's all I have for you guys today. Hope these tips help you guys in approaching the next girl that you find without coming off as creepy.